Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will show you how you can create your user models. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so user models, well, that is the basics of creating an app that has basic users and that maybe uses Firebase. You can download and upload your users and double check on them. And today I'm going to show you how you can handle all of this. And of course, we are going to create a user model. So let me just create a new project here. File, new project. And there we go. And we use a single view application. Doesn't really matter. I will name this and I will put it onto GitHub because I do want for you to see my code. Okay, let's create it there. And finally, let us just arrange this so you may see everything. Okay, so maybe let's select iPhone XR when we are going to build and run. Okay, so what we need to do here is create a new file, and I will call it my user, because in some cases the user is occupied maybe by Firebase, maybe by Apple. So it's a good thing that you add my or whatever to the beginning of the user. So let's create that. And basically let's create a struct here. Okay, so struct, and it will be called my user. And for the fields, let's create some file private set, because all we want to do is set these variables. And the first one is a UID, and it will be of type string, because most of the time you want to some sort of differentiate between your users, and Firebase comes automatically with UIDs, so that is a must when you handle Firebase users. Okay, I don't say that you need to have all of these with Firebase, but I'm just saying that it's a good thing to have a UID for any of your objects. So next up, let's create another private variable, and I will have this as the name, okay, because we are talking about the users. Finally, let's create another one, and just so you see that we are not doing only strings, let's create here our age, and that will be an int. Okay. And yeah, basically that is it. You can stop here, but do go on forward, because we are going to talk about some really detailed and fine stuff. So let's just check out how this looks like. So in the root view controller's view did load, let's create a user. Let user equals my user, and here we go. It auto completes only with the UID, so let's hit Command B so Xcode refreshes, and now we would be able to see UID, name, and age. So UID 1, 2, 3, maybe age, name Alex, age 35. Okay, and yeah, basically that is it. If you wanted to take a look at your user, you would do something like print user, and let's hit Command R so we build and run this project, and we would see our user here. Let's wait for the simulator to launch. Till then, I will tell you that we are going to create users, print out their details so you can take a look at it, and take a look at some hypothetical fetching from a database. So let me just push this here. You can see it says my user UID and so on. So basically that is it. That is the basic model for our user. But we want to take it even higher. So what we are going to do here is create a document serializable, because when you basically fetch some data from the database, whatever database you want to parse it. So for that we are going to create a new file here. So new file, it will be a Swift file, and I need this, let's click on create, and basically this will be a protocol, and it will be named document serializable. So we want to add in here an optional initializer, so init, and we want to have some document data, and it will be an array of string to any. Okay, well basically I named this document data, but you could name it anything else, because from Firebase and basically from the Firebase is Firestore, we are fetching always documents, so that is why I said this is document data. Okay, and of course string to any is self-explanatory, string is the key, any is the value. So next up we want our user, so the my user struct, conform to this protocol. So let's create an extension here, my user, and it will conform to document serializable. So let's just wait for a second, and it says that it must conform to this protocol. So let's fix that. Let's add that in there. As you can see here, we have our optional initializer. Well, what do we want to do here? If we fetch from a database, we are not sure that we do get back all of the data. So here it's time to add some default values. So it would be something like this. So let's create our UID, and we will grab it from our document data, and this is of course a dictionary, and we would have our UID here and as a string, and if it doesn't exist we want to have this as an empty string. But this looks really awful because we have our strings here. It's not safe. Let me just create some constants here, and I will create some structs, and I will call this my key, and inside there I will call another struct. This for the my user, and here we have a static let UID equals, and here we go with the string UID. So now we can change this and call my key, for my user of course, and UID, and this is very safe. So one last thing that we need to take care of is this empty string if we don't get a real UID, and it goes the same. Create struct that is my value, and let's create these empty values. So another struct here, empty, and the first one, because there will be more, static let and empty string. Okay, and let's just add that in there. So now we can simply use this struct my value, or rather my value dot empty dot string, and that is very safe. Now let's do the same for the name and the age. We just simply copy and paste 2 more times this, just add in the name there. Of course this will yell at us because we don't have some things ready just yet, but let me just type in here int. Okay, what we need to do here is create the 2 more my user static lets. So name, go, pretty straightforward, and another static let called age equals age. And finally we want to add in here an empty int. Well, basically we are going to have the int as a 0, and that should take care of our errors. Okay, finally, we want to create an initializer, and that is pretty straightforward in it. And if we add in here a parentheses, or rather that we want to have self, because we want to see that we are inside our my user, and type in init and parentheses, you will see that we can have our document data. Of course, we are not going to use that. We are going to use the second one with the UID name and age. UID is UID, name is name, age is age. Okay, and maybe I really like, you will have a ton here. What's with this? We need to add in here as int. Okay, and that will be ready. So as I was telling, you will have a lot of elements here, and this long format is not that readable, so I usually add in here these new lines. Okay, now what else do we want to do? Well, basically let us just use what we have gained here. Let's go back to our root view controller, and now let's create say a fetch function. It will be a file private function, and let's see, fetch user. Okay, that's it. So we are going to simulate user fetch here, and we are going to use some sort of logic that we return some data from a server. So let's create that. Data equals, and let's see now, what do we get back? So we are going to get my key dot my user dot UID, and for that, let's see, here we are going to get back 1, 2, 3. Okay, and let's add in here a new line so we can see much better. Again, my key, out of new lines there, key, my user, and the name, again, Alex. And finally, my age, key for my user, age equals, or rather yet, it is 36. Okay, now this is what the data we will get from the database, and then we will need to convert it as a string to enum. That will fix that. And now we want to use this data to create let's say a user. But if we start typing in, so let user equals my user, you will see that we do have this document data and we do have this UID. Just show you one more time, and now we are able to use this document data as a dictionary. Sorry for that. Okay, let's type in here data. Now we do have our user, so we want to, let's say, give it back. So let's create a completion here, real quick completion, and it will be an escaping, and I will use the brand new Swift 5's result type. So go ahead and take a look at that video on my YouTube channel on how to use it if you already don't know how to use it. So we are going to return my user and some error. Okay, if there is any error, but we won't do that currently. So first of all, we want to guard let unwrap this user, because my user is not allowed to be an optional. So else we just simply return for now. And finally we complete with a success for our user. Okay, and that is it. Now we just simply fetch our user in the completion. We have our result here, and we need to basically go to a switch statement for our result. Let's just wait for the auto completion to kick in, and we will add in those two cases, and basically for the success we have a user, and for our failure we have an error. We will just print out here our private print error localized description. Okay, and here we are going to print out our user. Okay, and basically that is it. Let's build and run and see what we have here. Okay, it's kind of the same, my user UID. But you might as well have, this is just a print statement with a dictionary, so let's create a dictionary inside my user as a variable, because sometimes you need to have that for convenience. Okay, so let's go into my user, and under the private set variables, create a new one, and I will call this a dictionary. And it will be of type, of course, string to any, and let's create it. So let's return here dictionary, and what we want to add first is our my key.myuser.uid, and that is our UID here. Oh, I need to delete this one because we are not adding a value to our dictionary just yet. So let's move on to my key.myuser.name, that is name, and finally my key.myuser.age, that is the age. Of course, this is an optional. Now that we do have this, we can access all of the elements through a dictionary. Okay, we add that dictionary with the document data. Now we can access that dictionary with the help of this variable. So let's just do that, and let's just create some extensions here that look really good. So my user, and let's type in custom debug, I believe debug string convertible, that is it. Let's just wait for Xcode to complain and add in here our debug description. Basically we will just return string, and let's create this as my user, and I will just simply add in here our dictionary that we have created. So a dictionary, this is the debug description, everything about my user. Sometimes we want to have only, let's say, the name or the UID. I will use the name now. So let's create another extension for my user, and this will be a simple custom string, I believe. Yes, convertible. There we go. And this will be only the description. So let's fix that with the help of Xcode, and let's return here my user, and maybe let's add in here dictionary, so it will be self-explanatory, and here we will add name, and let's add in here our name. Okay, so let's use these two now. Let's go back to our root view controller, and once we do get this user, let's print out let's say user and debug description. Okay, let's hit Command R, and we will see down here that we do get that debug description. There we go. We just this my user dictionary name Alex. But if we don't want to have all of that data, we could just simply have our description for the name, and I forgot their parentheses. Let me just fix that real quick. Go. Nice. Okay, let's build and run again and see that the name is typed out correctly. There we go. And finally, we can use the user's any variables, so properties, and let's see, I will just type in out here the UID and we should see 1, 2, 3 here. Let's see now. 1, 2, 3. That is the UID of our fetched user. Okay, so again, this is it for this user model. Go ahead and take a look at it in depth on the GitHub repository or create your very own. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And do go ahead and create your user models or whatever elements, objects you have in your app. Do create these kind of models and do let me know in the comments down below how it went. And as usual, I will see you in the next one.